gather around. It's time for the show to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is...
Hey everyone, my name is Jason.
Hi friends, it's Desiree Josen.
All right, there were so many matches this year that were just too much.
So this won't be a shocker because we've had a handful of really awesome matches that we just can't stop talking about.
How many times have these guys fought? Like it's been quite a bit.
I've been saying this all year. They're just so great to watch. We saw the heel turn coming, and then when it happened, nice and bloody, both dramatic and beautiful.
You are now entering the ring with Chutes and Ladders podcast. Here are your hosts, Desiree and Jason.
Chutes and Ladders, Saturday night's main event review. What's going on, everyone? My name is Jason.
Hi friends, it's Desiree Josen.
We are breaking down Saturday night's main event. We are grading every match, every moment, and every surprise. Des, what are your initial thoughts?
You know what? I didn't hate it. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. I know I came in, a week ago during our predictions episode whining, saying, it's, too much, just too many main events, with multiple PLEs back to back. But you know what? I didn't hate it at all.
So I'm semi with you. There was one match I could not stand. We'll get to it, but let's just roll through and we will break this down one by one. Let's start off with the 6-women tag match. Des, there's a lot of star power in this particular match. What stood out to you the most, and what's your grade?
You know what? You said it. It was star power. We have really big names in it. We had Rhea, Alexa, and Charlotte on top of Jade. And then Michin and B-Fab. And you know what? Michin and B-Fab looked fantastic, especially Michin. I was like, are they just making her the star? Because she was so in control, very aggressive, especially knowing that, there's, a powerhouse like Jade, leading the team. But I thought she stood out to me. Everyone looked amazing, with the whole Rhea and Charlotte working together kind of thing. That was fun with Alexa, making them be friends. And what I really liked was the entrance for Jade, Michin, and B-Fab with their nod to Michael Jackson. I thought that was really cute, really on point there. So I love that. Hated the ending because I was like, if y'all would stop trying to hug and be friends, y'all could have gotten a pin or at least not had Rhea get knocked out by Jade. But I get it, Jade was going to win, but this is always, this is of course is going to set up for next weekend for Italy, where Rhea will obviously get the win. So it's okay. I get it. It wasn't terrible. You know what? I'll give it a B+.
Okay, I'll be nice. B+ is a solid grade. I'm kind of with you. The ending wasn't my favorite, but we kind of called this from the get-go. We said, look, there's obviously another event a week after, so they kind of have to leave certain things hanging, and this is a perfect example of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now let's go to the absolute miss of the night. Maybe miss of the year. They had such a great opportunity to put Sol Ruca over. We're, of course, talking about Becky Lynch versus Sol Ruca, which ended in a DQ. This brought controversy. What are your thoughts and what's your grade?
I was really annoyed. I was kind of actually really confused, just like everybody else, with the ending. Even commentators were like, did we make the right call? What just happened? Kind of thing. And I'm like, did they even know that was going to happen? I don't know. And then I was like, I don't like to use the word botch, but I was like, did Sol Ruca mess up on her finisher? Like how she misstepped the first go around, which was okay. But then, of course, Becky being Becky, using the ref to be in the way. As soon as I saw that and they called a DQ, and I was just like, okay, well, clearly they're setting up for Italy, which they should have just done in the first place. I feel like this right here, that match or whatever debacle that was, that could have been a Raw promo. That could have been something for a build-up for Raw to say, I'm going to take you down in Italy. Not, let's set you up for Saturday night's main event. Whatever that was, and then that, I don't know. I feel like that was just so unnecessary. And with the other matches, we didn't really need that there. So, I'm not, I didn't like it at all. So that really brought down my grade in the night because it was just confusion right there. So I'm giving that like a C.
I'm giving this an F. I don't do that often.
Yeah.
But none of this made sense. Just like you said, again, we called this. We knew that there was going to be a PLE a week after, so they were going to have to repeat matches. Sol Ruca has turned into one of my favorite superstars, not just amongst women, but amongst WWE. I'm not alone in that. They had an opportunity. They were much better off having Becky cheat and win. They immediately set up like, hey, by the way, you're fighting next week, which is just like you said, it could have been a Raw or a SmackDown. I'm very hesitant to give these type of low grades, but I have no choice. This was unbelievably horrible. None of this made any
You're
sense.
not the only one, I tell you that.
Yeah, I'm giving this an F. This was awful. I was so excited for this match. I kind of wish when she did the Soul Snatcher, Becky hit her with like brass knuckles or something stupid like that. I would have been much better having Sol Ruca lose than having her do the Soul Snatcher in a ref and calling DQ like that. Because then technically on paper, then she should be punished for that, but they can't do that either. So none of this made sense. This was
At this point, I see them building up a match between Becky and the ref Jessica.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like it's going to happen. But yeah, and listen, just the other thing too. Look, we've been saying this. Someone like Becky Lynch doesn't need the IC strap. Like the whole point is to push the younger girls. This would have been perfect. I'm sure that I'm sure Sol Ruca is going to win next week. I hope so. And if she doesn't, then I really don't know what they're doing.
At this point, I'd be aggravated and be like, okay, just be done with it.
Yeah. All right, now let's move on to a much better match. Penta versus Ethan Page. This had potential to seal the show. Des, did this live up to the hype? What impressed you the most? What was your grade?
You know what? I came into this match very indifferent, saying, it was going to be a decent match, but I didn't know if Ethan Page could really keep up with Penta. And proved me wrong because this was like my match of the night. I really enjoyed it. It was so entertaining. The counters, so close to the point where I was like, Ethan might actually win. And, it kept me on my toes. The audience was loving it. And it was a good transition from the match before. So it really made up for it. I really enjoyed it. Ethan looked amazing. And even though, Penta won and retained, which is what we expected, Ethan looked fantastic. So Penta did his job and put him over. So it was amazing. I really loved it. I'm giving it an A.
100%. I'm giving it an A. This was my match of the night. It's kind of like what you said. Even though Penta got the win, Ethan got put over. Ethan has a bright future ahead of him. Eventually, he will win the IC strap, maybe the US strap, and maybe even get the world title eventually. And having matches like this are kind of that teaser of, hey, you know what? This guy's going to be big. Well, great match. Loved it both. To be honest, I'm going to double down. I think Penta can eventually win the world title. And I think
100%.
I think we would all be for it. So, love this match, 100%. Definitely stole the show. I kind of wish this was the main event, to be honest with you.
I don't hate it.
All right, now let's go to the women's tag titles. Brie and Paige versus Nia and Lash Legend. Big personalities in this match. Did this feel like a premium tag title match? What's your grade on this?
Okay, I have a really big hot take. I'm not a big fan of Brie and Paige. I don't know. I love Paige. I love her separate. Maybe it's the Bellas that I'm just not crazy about. I love Brie Bella, but I just don't like. I don't like this right now. I just feel like it's not working for me. I know they made a joke about it being like the retirement tour, or kind of like bring the Hall of Famers from the past to. I don't need that for the tag titles. We know who they are, but we have some solid women that are currently on the roster that could proudly hold those titles. Nia and Lash, I really enjoyed them. I think Lash has so much potential to really be a singles competitor. She is looking better and better. I just felt like Brie was moving a little slow. I don't know. I just for some reason, it just didn't work for me tonight or that night, where I was just like, it's just, I don't know, it's just not clicking for me. It wasn't terrible, but it could have been better. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of typical. They were going to win. But you know, it wasn't my match of the night. We'll just say that. So I'll give it like a B minus.
Yeah, same here. Actually, my hot take is I'm kind of indifferent as well. I actually like the Bellas. Like, I think they've done a lot for pro wrestling. But to give them a title, it just doesn't really make sense. I'm kind of with you. I think Paige should be on her own. I think she's phenomenal on her own. Yeah. And I'll actually double down. I said a couple weeks ago that the women's IC strap and U.S. title should really just be for the young girls. I really do think the tag team title should be for some of the ladies that don't have a name yet, and then make them an actual tag team. Give them an actual name, make them dress the same, the whole nine, kind of like what they did with, you know, the men's tag team for a while, instead of just throwing two people together. I think that would just make a lot more sense. I mean, that being said, I mean, yeah, B minus sounds fair. I mean, again, I didn't hate it. I was kind of just indifferent.
Right.
All right, now let's go to the World Tag Team Championship, which happens to be the main event, which is very rare. Logan Paul and Austin Theory versus Street Profits. Des, what are your thoughts on this, and what's your take, especially with ending the show?
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I knew that both teams were going to just really bring some heat and cheers out of the crowd, which they definitely did. Logan and Austin are so hated, and I love them. I was actually cheering for them, but I was like tied, because I was like, damn, the Street Profits are looking so good, and they've been on every single week just working their asses off and beating the hell out of these two. So towards the end, I was like, okay, I think they're actually going to win, just because the crowd was on their feet cheering. And then that one very end, it was just like hit after hit, and you knew that they were going to get it. And then, of course, Paul Heyman puts his leg on the damn rope, and you're like, damn it, we had it for a second. And then, you know, of course, Braun Breaker coming out. That's not a surprise there. I wasn't surprised, but I didn't hate it. I don't know. I feel like it's coming for the Street Profits, but I feel like if they were going to win this past weekend, just how the crowd was hyped up, it would have been okay too. I don't know. I just don't want them to miss out and drag it out where we're like, okay, it's about damn time. So I feel like it should be coming soon. I don't know, but I love them both. I enjoyed it. I'll give it an A.
I'll give it a B. I liked it overall. It's funny. I don't think this was the main event, to be honest with you. No. I mean, a tag team title match really shouldn't be the main event, but they really couldn't have a world title match because they're literally a week away.
Next week.
So it was okay. I'm kind of with you though. Like, I don't think they should delay this, because the Street Profits are an actual tag team, just like we just discussed, and as opposed to Logan and Austin, they're just kind of just thrown together. That being said, we know that eventually the Street Profits will win, probably sooner rather than later. And you know what? They should win at an actual PLE or an actual event, not just some random Raw. So overall, it was good. It was a B for me. But yeah, that's as high as I'll go.
Yeah.
All right, Des. Now it is time for a fun game of Fast Count. This should be quick.
Okay.
All right. Match of the night.
IC title match, Penta and Ethan Page.
1,000%. Okay. MVP of the night.
MVP. You know what? I'm going with, Ethan Page.
I was about to say that, even though he lost. Amen.
I think he looked great.
Amen. All right, cool. Most shocking moment.
Oh, the whole Becky and Sol Ruka ending. That was just lame.
Yeah, shocking in a bad way.
Yeah.
Who gained the most momentum tonight?
Momentum. You know what? I'm just staring at the list here. I'm gonna say both Penta and Ethan. They both looked really great.
Love it. Did Saturday night's main event feel important? Yes or no?
Somewhat, yes. Because I came in saying, and it was better than that. So, yes.
Okay. What one superstar you want to be pushed from this point on?
Sol
Yes, love it. I was gonna say you can make the argument for Ethan, but Sol Ruka 100%.
Yeah, Sol Ruka. Yeah, I think it's her time to shine.
Love it. All right, and now let's talk about final thoughts and final grade. What you got, Des?
I didn't hate it. They did the best that they could. We got to understand that Saturday night's main event isn't like a major pay-per-view PLE, so we got to treat it that way, going in like that. So it is what it is. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't the best thing in the world, but it was a good way to end my Saturday night. So with that, given with a couple of questionable matches and endings, I'll give it like a B.
Yeah, I was gonna say B. Listen, Ethan and Penta stole the show. It made up for that debacle of the women's IC title match. The other tag team title matches, they weren't bad. So, yeah, overall, just, B, just like you said, it's a good way to end Saturday night, and we knew that they had no choice but to set this up for the following PLE, so.
Right, so, yeah.
All right, that actually wraps up this episode. What are your thoughts on Saturday night's main event? Please shoot us a DM at the Shoots and Ladders. Like always, please like, share, and subscribe, both on YouTube and Spotify. Once again, my name is Jason.
I'm Desiree Josen.
All right, until next time, have a blessed day and a blessed week.
Have a great week. Bye, friends.
This has been Shoots and Ladders. Follow us for more content.